Hey, it's Mike here, and today I want to take you through all of the steps of creating an assignment in Blackboard to grading an assignment in Blackboard. So I've got my course site here, and I want to create an assignment. I have to decide where I want that assignment. So I could put it in my assignments folder here at the bottom here, you see a menu on the left, or I could put it in any one of my modules, wherever I want to put it. Let's say that I want to put it in my assignments folder, so I'll just click on assignments. And now I'll go ahead and say, okay, I'd like to build an assessment up here at the top. And the kind of assessment I'm going to build is an assignment. And now I've got to name it, so let's call it Final Essay.
And so now we'll scroll down and we can put in some files if we'd like. So if you have a rubric or some sort of instructions, you can add files to it. You don't have to add a due date. I tend not to. And then under grading points possible, I give it 100 points just for ease of use. You can add a rubric to it as well if you would like to have a specific rubric, and that'll appear in your grading schema, so it makes it really easy. There are some other things that you can do. There's a submission details where you can make, you can create a safe assignment, which checks for plagiarism. And there are a few other things that you can do, including display of grades. So you can let the students see the score. You can include it in the Grade Center grading calculations, which is probably what you want to do. Show to students in my grades. And that's basically it. You can show the average and median, but I rarely do that. Then you need to make the assignment available, and that's it, and you can hit submit. And now that assignment's going to be all the way at the bottom, but I want to move it to the top. So how do I move it to the top? There's a little arrow right here, up and down arrow, and if I click on that, you'll see Final Essay, because I want them to see that, and I'll select that, and then I'll just click my arrows over here all the way to the top and submit, and there's that Final Essay. And when students click on that, they'll be able to add their assignments. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at what that looks like from the student perspective when they actually upload their assignment, and then we'll come back and see what happens on the faculty side. All right, so here I am as a student in the student area of the course, and a student will go to their assignments folder, and they will go to their final essay, and they'll be able to go ahead and see how many points possible, and they can browse for a local file, or they can write a submission by hand. Browse local files, and the student will go ahead and find their essay. Here is one. And I'll click open, and student will make sure that their essay is here. They can add a comment if they like, and then all they need to do is hit submit. And now the student will automatically see this message, and they'll have a submission confirmation number, and they can save it as proof of their submission. And I'm going to close this window, but now you'll see what happens in this. This is the assignment and the grading area, and a faculty member will then be able to grade this right online if they want to. Let's jump back to the faculty area and see what it looks like for a faculty member who wants to grade it. All right, so we're back here as a faculty member, and there's that final essay, and I'm going to browse over to my Grade Center. And here's Grade Center on the left-hand menu. And I will go to see my assignments area. I could click on Full Grade Center if I wanted to see everything, but I just want to see the assignments, and I'll click on Assignments. So there's that final essay, and the student, Mike Bloom, has submitted it, and you can tell there's a little exclamation point there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the little arrow here, and here's where I can go ahead and look at the attempt. And when I open up the attempt, here's where I can do all the grading. And I'm going to go ahead and close this window. I can minimize my menu area on the left-hand side so I can see my exam a lot bigger. And now I can go ahead and read it. I can zoom in. I can search for the document through the document. Actually, can I zoom in? I don't know if I can zoom in. But I can go ahead and open this whole thing up full size. And now I can really get into the grading. I can write if I click on this little link. I have a mouse here, but if you had a pen, you could do it as well. So I could choose whether I'm drawing using a brush or using an eraser. So I'm going to draw, and I can go ahead and just circle things, get really fine-tuned in there. I can zoom in if I want. I can zoom in with my trackpad. I can do that. I can make my lines smaller. Instead of 5-point, I can make them 2-point. Right, whatever I want to do. My dog is barking at something. Momo, come on, stop. And let's zoom back in. And you can do lots of different things in your grading. I think there's a male person. So that's writing. You can make a comment. So here I'll click on comments, and here's my comment. Good job. Save. And what else can you do? You can download it if you want to. So here I'm going to download that whole thing, and now I have that as a PDF if I wanted to do that. That's about it. There's a search. So if I wanted to search for a particular term, let's see if I could find that. So lecture. So now it'll highlight every time the word lecture appears. There are lots of different cool things you can do. Just play around, excuse me, with it. You can take a look at the annotations, bookmarks, thumbnails, whatever you want to do. What's that? This is the content library. I don't know what the content library is. All right, so that's it for grading. Now let's say I'm done with my grading, and what can I do? Let me zoom back out of this. Now I can give it a grade. So I can give it there's this weird little arrow here to show hide grading panel. So I'm going to click to show that grading panel. And now here's where I can give it a grade. So I'll give it 80%. I can give the learner some feedback. This was okay. I can do other things like I can add files. So if I click here, I can add content. I can insert a local file or an image or some other thing that might help them. But I don't need to do any of that. And what else? I can add notes. And that is basically it. I can save it as a draft, or I can go ahead and submit it immediately. So let me go ahead and hit submit. And now you notice that that student has their grade. And what happens? What does the student see? Let's take a look from the student side. So here I am as the student, and I'm going to go back to the course, and I'm going to go back to my assignments area, and I'll click on final essay. And now you'll notice that here are all of those changes that the professor made. And I see that I have a grade here, and I see the feedback to the learner. And that's it. I can click OK, and I'm all done.